Welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Look, if you've ever felt like managing your money is just this complicated, stressful chore, you are definitely not alone. Most of us were left completely in the dark when it comes to personal finance. We all sat there and learned algebra and history, right? But somehow we totally missed out on basic wealth building. Well, today, that changes. We're going to walk through a super energetic, completely stress-free roadmap to mastering your money. We're taking the complex and making it incredibly simple.
$1,000. That right there is the invisible annual ignorance tax that the average American pays. Why? Simply because they never got a proper Money 101 class in school. It is literally a penalty we pay just for not knowing the rules of the game. That's $1,000 slipping right through the cracks every single year, quietly draining away your financial potential.
Okay, let's dive right into this literal blueprint and see exactly how we can build your financial engine. We've got 5 steps today. First, the cost of ignorance. Second, know your numbers. Third, drop the debt anchor. Fourth, the magic of investing. And finally, building your safety net.
Phase 1. The cost of ignorance. You know that missing $1,000 a year? Over a lifetime, that could have easily been a house down payment, or even an early retirement. Let's stop that leak.
Moving on to phase 2. Know your financial numbers. Because hey, before you can get to where you're going on this journey, you absolutely have to know your starting coordinates.
So, the first coordinate you need is your net worth. Now, I know the financial industry absolutely loves to use intimidating jargon, but let's just demystify this fancy term right now. Your net worth is simply what you own minus what you owe. That's the whole shebang. You just add up your cash, your investments, maybe the value of your car or your home, and then you subtract your debts. Boom, the resulting number is your net worth. It's basically the ultimate scoreboard for your financial life.
And your second coordinate is the surplus. Take a look at your yearly income and subtract your yearly expenses. Whatever's left over in the middle, that's your surplus. So the really crucial point here is that this gap, this surplus, is the actual money that buys your financial freedom. It's literally the only money you can use to pay down debt or invest for the future. Think about it. If your surplus is zero, your wealth cannot grow, period, no matter how huge your salary is.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. On one side, you've got someone earning $50,000 a year, but they've managed to carve out a $5,000 surplus. Now on the other side, we have someone pulling in a massive $200,000 a year, but they spend every single penny, $0 surplus. The math just doesn't lie here. That lower income saver is actually mathematically closer to financial freedom than the high income spender. It's a real game changer when you realize it's not about what you make, it's entirely about what you keep.
So to make sure you actually keep more of it, let's do a quick personality check. Ask yourself honestly right now, are you a natural saver or a natural spender? Be real with yourself. Most of us, we lean towards spending. So don't try to fight your personality with sheer willpower. Instead, build systems. Automate your savings. Set it up so your money gets automatically transferred right into savings or investments before you even see it hit your checking account. Out of sight, out of mind. If it's tucked away, you won't even be tempted to spend it.
All right, phase 3, drop the debt anchor. Think of debt as this dangerous, heavy weight tied right to your ankle while you're just trying to swim. We have to cut that weight.
We need to be super strategic about tackling this weight because not all debt is created equal. Over on the left, we have good debt. These are things like mortgages or student loans. It's borrowing that ideally increases your overall value, your net worth, over time. But on the right, bad debt. This is the toxic stuff. High-interest credit cards, payday loans. Guys, payday loans can carry an unbelievable 800% interest rate. There's no way you win with that. That kind of bad debt is literally just a mechanism transferring your hard-earned wealth directly into somebody else's pocket.
Let's look at 2 highly effective ways to get rid of this. First up is the debt avalanche. This is where you attack the debt with the highest interest rate first. Mathematically speaking, this absolutely saves you the most money. But the second option is the debt snowball. Here, you pay off the smallest balances first, completely ignoring the interest rate. Why on earth would you do that? Well, to feel the psychological win. Knocking out those small debts gives you this huge momentum to keep going. So pick the one that fits how your brain works and go crush that bad debt. Phase 4. The magic of investing. Because investing isn't just for Wall Street types. It's for absolutely anyone who wants their money to grow while they sleep.
The absolute secret ingredient here is compound growth. And what that means is that time is your absolute best friend. Thanks to compound growth, a small amount of money invested right now is worth way, way more than a massively larger amount of money invested much later in your life. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. Your money makes money, and then that new money makes even more money. You just have to give it the runway of time to really take off.
Now, what's really interesting here is just how simple this can actually be. You absolutely do not need to sit around picking individual winning stocks. Instead, index funds. Think of an index fund as the easy button for investing. For a super low fee, you get to own a tiny piece of 500 of the biggest companies all at the exact same time. And then, oh man, 401k matches? If your employer offers a match, you have to take it. It is literally free money. It's an immediate 50 or 100% return on your investment before the stock market even wakes up.
Phase 5. Building your safety net. We need to establish some serious guardrails to make sure a single string of bad luck doesn't completely derail your entire journey.
Your absolute first guardrail has to be the emergency fund. You really want to aim to have 3 to 6 months of your basic living expenses sitting safely in a high-yield savings account. The relief this provides, immense, I can't overstate it. Having this cash buffer turns a major life crisis, say getting laid off, or your home's furnace completely breaking down in the dead of winter, it turns that from a devastating financial disaster into a mere inconvenience. Okay, your next safety net applies to large purchases, cars in particular. Cars are huge wealth destroyers if you buy them incorrectly, so check this out. It's the 24-10 rule for cars. Definitely keep this in mind. 1. Put a 20% down payment on the vehicle. 2. Take out a 4-year maximum loan. And 3. Keep your total car costs, we're talking insurance, gas, the whole thing, under 10% of your income. And a quick bonus tip derived straight from the data, buying a used car is almost always the smarter, safer move for your wallet compared to buying brand new.
Let's also talk about housing, because there is a massive myth out there that buying a house is universally better than renting, and that renting is just throwing money away. Actually, scratch that, it simply isn't true. If you plan to stay in an area for less than 5 years, renting often wins out mathematically. When you buy, you're paying massive transaction costs, closing costs, and let's not forget all the ongoing, completely unpredictable maintenance. So don't feel pressure to buy just because society tells you it's the right thing to do. Always look at your timeline.
Wow, we have covered a lot of ground in this explainer. But you know, when we strip away all the noise, all the stress, and all the confusing financial jargon, we are left with this, the simple path. The entire secret to wealth can be distilled into this simple 3-step mantra. Spend less than you earn, invest the rest, avoid bad debt. That's it. If you consistently follow those 3 bullet points, your financial success is practically a mathematical certainty.
So I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought. What will your first step toward financial freedom be today? Seriously, what's it going to be? Will you finally sit down and calculate your exact net worth? Are you going to set up an automated transfer to an index fund? Or maybe you'll pick the snowball or avalanche method and finally smash that bad debt. The blueprint is totally in your hands now. The ignorance tax? Canceled. Go take that first step and start building the freedom you absolutely deserve. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.